The Rock versus Roman Reigns at Mania gets confirmed. An injury update on Dominic Mysterio. AJ Lee's comeback update. The real reason why Bron Breakker was suspended from WWE. The real reason WWE has taken the Undisputed Title off Cody Rhodes, and much, much more. Starting off with an injury update on Dominic Mysterio. On December 20th, 2025, Dirty Dom injured his shoulder at the 8AA's Guerra de Titanes event. He teamed up with El Grande Americano to take on Rey Mysterio and Rey Fenix in the main event and was seen clutching his shoulder after the match. There were concerns surrounding his injury, and after he was pulled from a live event a few days later, speculation only intensified. However, a report then mentioned that Dominic won't need surgery for his shoulder injury and should be back for the Royal Rumble. Since then, there has been no clear update on his return. On the Raw recap, fellow Judgment Day member Liv Morgan, the former Women's World Champion, said Dominic Mysterio is recovering and would be back soon. Yeah, Daddy Dom, he's home resting. He's just recovering. We're just playing it safe. He is, after all, our double champion. He is, as of right now, the crown jewel of the Judgment Day. So we protect and cater to Daddy Dom, and we're just playing it safe with him, and he'll be back soon, she said. Morgan said the Intercontinental Champion is taking some well-deserved time off after carrying Monday Night Raw in 2025. On his Off the Top podcast, Rikishi discussed the breakout stars in WWE in 2025. As expected, Dominic Mysterio's name came up. Talking about him, Rikishi said that he was definitely smart and talented in the ring. He said that he has to carry the Mysterio family name, which comes with some weight. Dirty Dom had an incredible last year, winning the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 41. He then went on to win the AAA Mega Championship later that year. He also became a two-time Intercontinental Champion after beating John Cena at Survivor Series in November. The WWE not bringing LA Knight on Raw was a mistake. Knight has been out of action from WWE for more than a month. In his last appearance, the megastar was attacked by the Vision during his match with Logan Paul, which put him on the shelf. But a recent report suggested that the former United States champion has traveled to Germany, where this week's Raw took place. But still, LA was nowhere to be found on the show. It has caused an array among the fans on why WWE did not bring back the Defiant One on this week's Raw. Knight could have been used in a feud with CM Punk ahead of the Royal Rumble PLE. Moreover, he could have been added to a segment with the Vision as well. Overall, LA's comeback would have generated a lot of buzz among the WWE universe. Bron Breakker was involved in a heated confrontation with Adam Pearce on Monday Night Raw. The dog of WWE was angry following his loss last week, and he was unleashing chaos on the show. It set up an amazing stage for LA Knight to make his return and go after the Vision and a furious Breakker on the show to defend the fans and the WWE management. But WWE refrained from even mentioning LA Knight on the show this week. A feud with an angry Bron Breakker could have done wonders for the Defiant One. He had been looking for a game-changing rivalry for more than a year. Therefore, Triple H could have used him with Breakker to elevate both names. The WWE Universe has been showing a lot of interest in the young star, and pairing him with a fan favorite would have been epic. WWE missed this opportunity last night by not bringing back the megastar. Therefore, it was a massive mistake on Triple H's part with the show in Germany. For the past few months, fans have been under the perception that WWE has seemingly buried LA Knight. The 43-year-old star has been facing constant defeats in his matches on Monday Night Raw. Not only that, but he also lost various title opportunities over the course of the past few months. Additionally, WWE did not even feature him in the star-studded War Games match. Then he got attacked by the Vision on Monday Night Raw, which put him out when things seemed to be getting under control. All that, and now WWE not bringing him back even this week, has added fuel to the perception that Triple H has buried him on Raw. This could result in a massive outrage among the fans against the WWE creative staff moving forward. With no return on Raw this week, WWE is likely saving LA Knight's comeback for the Royal Rumble 2026 in Saudi Arabia. But various legends are expected to appear on the show later this month. Names like Chris Jericho are heavily rumored to be in the cards for a return. Therefore, Knight's comeback in this match might fall flat among all the other grand moments expected on the show. Besides, it would propel the megastar on the road to WrestleMania without any clear direction. It is something that cannot be afforded when fans are clamoring to see him get involved in the world title picture at WrestleMania. Moreover, a surprise return in the Men's Royal Rumble could see him fade into the background afterward, getting lost in the shuffle on Raw. Therefore, Knight deserved a center stage for a comeback that could have very well been this week's Raw. But Triple H might have some other plans for him moving forward. AJ Lee's comeback update. AJ Lee has been absent from WWE since Survivor Series 2025. In her last sighting, she competed in the Women's War Games match to take her team to victory. But since then, there has been no mention of the Black Widow on WWE programming. Therefore, fans wonder what the company has in store for the former Divas champion ahead of the road to WrestleMania. AJ Lee will likely come back to compete at WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. But if that is the case, she needs to be involved in the storyline weeks ahead of the show. Therefore, fans might see the veteran making her come back to the ring months before the show of shows, and WWE might have started to build the stage for her return already. Raw's women's division has been pretty stagnant as of recent weeks. There has been a lack of surprise on the show, and fans have felt that the current storylines are pretty underwhelming. Therefore, the company needs something fresh to reinvigorate fans' interest in the women's division on the red brand. Moving on the road to WrestleMania 42, AJ Lee has the potential to change things around with her presence in the women's division. With her star power and veteran instincts, the Black Widow can be a crucial figure in the mid-card title scene on the red brand. Besides, big baby faces like Rhea Ripley and Sky are busy in the tag team division. Meanwhile, Stephanie Baker is dealing with an injury, hence Lee could be a babyface replacement for them. Royal Rumble 2026 is just a few weeks away. WWE has not managed to add any big names to the 30-woman Royal Rumble match as of now. Not many big names have announced their participation as of now, and fans have little to no hype for the event. Therefore, WWE needs an attraction for the Women's Royal Rumble event. While the company could directly bring Lee into the Rumble match, bringing her before that to announce her return could be a much better call. Therefore, it can be assumed that sooner or later, Triple H has planned to bring Lee back into the mix for the Royal Rumble. She has an impressive popularity in the division, and WWE cannot keep her away from the Rumble when she is available. Becky Lynch has been feuding with Maxine Dupree for more than 2 months now. They have already competed against each other in several matches, and the WWE Universe is seemingly bored with this feud. Moreover, there are no opponents left for the man either in the women's division on Monday Night Raw. It indicates that Triple H needs to call AJ Lee to resume her feud with Lynch. While the Black Widow and Big Time Bex have crossed paths several times in the ring, they still haven't collided in a singles match. WWE has been teasing that showdown for a long time. With no opponents left for the man on Raw, Triple H might have no choice but to bring back AJ Lee to go after the Women's Intercontinental Championship against Becky Lynch. The real reason why Bron Breakker was suspended from WWE? Bron Breakker was suspended by General Manager Adam Pearce on tonight's episode of WWE Monday Night Raw in Dusseldorf, Germany. The badass came out of nowhere and disrupted the tag team match between The Vision, Bronson Reed and Austin Theory, and Penta and Dragon Lee. He took out Dragon Lee with a devastating spear outside the ring, thus ending the match due to disqualification. Adam Pearce had already told Paul Heyman backstage that if he spots Breakker anywhere in the building, he should ask him to leave. However, Breakker stormed in during the match, and not only did he take out Dragon Lee, but also manhandled the Raw GM. Pearce had come out to stop Breakker from wreaking havoc in the show, but Breakker went mad at him. An irate Adam Pearce suspended Bron Breakker from the show indefinitely. Bron Breakker could be moved to SmackDown to compete against superstars like Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and undisputed WWE Champion Drew McIntyre. The badass made his main roster debut on Raw in May 2024. And, since then, has been on the red brand. He won the Intercontinental title twice on the show, before losing it at WrestleMania 41 last year. Since he has already clashed and lost against CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship, the company could be planning to get him to make some inroads on SmackDown. Although Breakker made his debut at SmackDown in February 2024, he soon moved to Raw and stayed there. He never got to clash against big superstars on SmackDown, which is what the company could be looking to do now. Breakker's suspension could also be used to remove Adam Pearce as the Raw GM. Paul Heyman reminded Pearce that it was he who first tried to get physical with Breakker by turning him around with force in the middle of the ring. Ringside commentators Wade Barrett and Michael Cole also accepted this loophole and marveled at Heyman's mind for pointing it out. Therefore, this angle could be used to officially remove Adam Pearce as the Raw GM for making a wrong decision regarding the company's talent. The suspension of Bron Breakker could have also been done to allow him to carry out indiscriminate attacks on WWE superstars. Since he is already suspended, Breakker has the advantage of doing anything out of the box and possibly getting away with it. Next week on Raw, he could disrupt the title match between CM Punk and Finn Balor. Since Breakker has already lost his chance to win the world title from Punk, he could create havoc on the show by severely injuring CM Punk and forcing him to vacate his World Heavyweight Championship. It will be interesting to see how WWE books Bron Breakker in the next few episodes of Raw. Becky Lynch demands an apology. Becky Lynch had an exceptional start to 2026 as she regained the Women's Intercontinental Championship from Maxine Dupree. However, even after becoming champion again, she has continued her online campaign against the management. The man has been targeting Michael Cole as of late for his comments during Lynch's match against Dupree. Big Time Bex turned Maxine's ankle lock into a pin attempt and held onto the ropes to ensure she got a 3 count. Cole mentioned on commentary that Lynch stole the championship, which hasn't sat well with the Irish star. The Women's Intercontinental Champion has threatened to have the WWE veteran removed from the commentary desk if he doesn't apologize for spreading misinformation. The 59-year-old firmly responded to Lynch, refusing to engage with her. This has further enraged the Irish star, as she sent out another post on X. Referring to Michael Cole as Michael Coleslaw, the man has once again demanded an apology from him. "Michael Coleslaw, where is my apology?" Becky wrote. Michael Cole has been with the global juggernaut for the last 28 years and is widely regarded as the voice of WWE. Before her match against Maxine Dupree for the Women's IC title on last week's Raw, Becky Lynch had Peter Rosenberg removed from the arena. On his Cheap Heat podcast, Rosenberg stated that he did not get to see Lynch's title win, as the Irish star had him escorted out of the venue before the match. "I did not get to see Becky Lynch's Intercontinental Championship match in full because she had me escorted to the back by security, which was an interesting occurrence," he said. The rematch between Lynch and Dupree for the Women's IC Championship is set for next week. The real reason WWE has taken the Undisputed title off Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes was in for a rude shock on last week's SmackDown when Jacob Fatu inadvertently cost him the Undisputed WWE title, with Drew McIntyre walking out with the gold. Now, a new report has shed light on what prompted WWE to make the bold decision of taking the title off of arguably its biggest babyface. Both of Cody Rhodes' undisputed WWE title wins have come at marquee stages. The first was at WrestleMania 40, where he defeated Roman Reigns, and most recently at SummerSlam 2025, where he won it back from John Cena. As such, the American Nightmare losing the gold on a random episode of SmackDown came as a genuine surprise. However, WWE seems to have a valid reason behind going in this direction. According to Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Radio, having Drew McIntyre, who has repeatedly fallen short in world title matches, lose again would have damaged his credibility beyond repair. It was also noted that the promotion wanted to protect Cody Rhodes, which is why the ending to the match didn't see him being pinned or tapping out. Going by the events on SmackDown, it's safe to say things are far from finished between Cody and McIntyre, and that we could get more chapters in their feud. Though the two have done a commendable job of keeping the rivalry alive, the addition of Jacob Fatu has reignited interest even for fans who were a bit tired of their never-ending saga. With both Cody and Fatu focused on McIntyre and his title, the Scottish Warrior might be staring at an uncertain future. And if that wasn't enough, Royal Rumble is also around the corner, and the winner of the men's version could also add himself to the mix. Finn Balor wins the World Heavyweight Championship. Finn Balor stepped up to CM Punk. The Prince reminded Punk that he had mentioned Balor's name as someone he wanted to face after winning the World Heavyweight Championship. The Second City Saint wanted to put his title on the line immediately, but Balor laid down a challenge for next week's episode, which takes place in Belfast, Ireland. Punk accepted, and the title match has been made official. The Prince has an opportunity to shock the world next week and walk out as the new World Heavyweight Champion. If that happens, he could finally leave the Judgment Day afterward. During the promo segment on Raw, CM Punk provoked Finn Balor to bring out his best version. Punk mentioned that he was a fan of Balor, but he wasn't impressed with the Balor who has been running around with the Judgment Day. The Second City Saint implied that the Irish star was wasting his potential in the faction. Balor could take this to heart and leave the group after potentially winning the World Heavyweight Championship. Last week on Raw, Finn Balor cut a passionate promo during a commercial break. The Prince was fired up and vowed to bring gold into the Judgment Day. Balor showed signs of his previous character, leading to a discourse among fans about him potentially turning face soon. The Triple H-led creative team could pull the trigger on this storyline next week by having Balor become the World Heavyweight Champion and embarking on a solo babyface run. There has been a power struggle between Finn Balor and Liv Morgan for a while now. If the Prince manages to capture the World Heavyweight Championship, it may not sit well with the Miracle Kid. Morgan may want her on-screen boyfriend, Dominic Mysterio, to become the world champion. If Balor does it before Dominic, tensions between him and Morgan may escalate and lead to the Irish star's removal from the Judgment Day. Since next week's episode of Raw is set to take place in Finn Balor's home soil in Ireland, the Triple H-led creative team has an opportunity to pull off a shocking title change. Most fans are expecting Punk to retain the World Heavyweight title. Therefore, if Balor wins, it would send shockwaves to the wrestling world and shake up the Red Brand's main event scene. Moreover, it would create a feel-good moment if the hometown hero becomes the world champion. This would be a perfect kickstart to his babyface run, which could also lead to him walking away from the Judgment Day. The Rock versus Roman Reigns at Mania gets confirmed. The Rock could still wrestle Roman Reigns in WWE, a real-life Bloodline member has claimed. Fans were expecting the match to take place at WrestleMania 40 in 2024, after the build-up focused heavily on the Anoa'i family legacy and tensions were teased between the two stars. However, WWE decided to move in a different direction and had Cody Rhodes face Reigns at the Show of Shows that year. The Brahma Bull was still part of the event, teaming up with the Tribal Chief to take on Rhodes and Seth Rollins in the main event on night one. Since then, the People's Champion has made sporadic WWE appearances, and with Reigns' part-time schedule, the chances of the match happening appear low. Now, according to Lloyd Anoa'i, this marquee bout could still take place. In an interview with PW Mania, Lloyd, who also worked for WWE, was asked whether a match between The Rock and Roman Reigns will ever happen. He said that the match isn't off the table. I'd love to see it. That match would be a record breaker. WWE teased it before and pivoted, which I thought was smart, but I don't think it's off the table. Even if The Rock isn't wrestling full-time, he'll be back in some capacity. The storylines in WWE always leave room for surprises, he said. Fans had been anticipating the match to happen for years before it was finally teased for WrestleMania 40. After WWE went with Rhodes finishing his story, The Rock's role diminished, and the promotion hasn't made any significant progress in his storyline with Reigns. In 2024, Roman Reigns talked about facing the Great One in WWE. In an interview with the SI Media podcast, he said that if the fans want the match and there is a demand for it, it could end up happening. Right now, Reigns has not been in action since Survivor Series War Games. With the road to WrestleMania getting closer, he will be expected to return to programming soon. Meanwhile, it was also reported that his rumored match with Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 42 is now off the table. Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship win is said to have altered those plans.